Hi, my name is Neb Kamus Sen Atumre, and this is the ninth part of the Black History video series entitled Jesus Found in Egypt, His Four Other Children. Lo, Lazarus, whose real name is Eleazar, meaning El has helped. There is symbolic meaning in the change of names. He was a student priest in the Essene order. He and Yeshua were in a political union, and Lazarus had been excommunicated because he sympathized and was in agreement with Yeshua, his brother-in-law's teachings. Yeshua was also a priest in the Essene order. The order consists of 3 degrees: Rab, Rabbi, and Rabboni. And these 3 degrees subdivided into many others. Yeshua was his brother-in-law being espoused to Martha and Mary Magdelene. Martha died before childbearing. Mary Magdalene's first son, Simon Bar Jesus, was crucified. They had no other children until they took residence in Egypt between his 35th year and 120 AD, the year of his death. He had 2 sons and daughters. The first daughter name was Iglaal. His second son's name was Zubair. His third daughter's name was Sanaa'a, and their fourth son's name was Huday. The remaining children moved south into Nubian, and there they merged into the people and became the root seed of the Mahdi family in Sudan. Mahdi simply means Ma, and Hadi from Huda, from Yehuda, simply Judah. The Mahdiya are the lost tribe of Israel, Judah, called the Hadendawa, simply Huda and Dawa being both Israelites and Ishmaelites, rendering them Islamic Hebrew. The mixture of Nobatai, Ishmaelite, and Havilaites, Israelites, formed a powerful tribe which was later converted in the 6th century to Christianity from their original Hebrew doctrine, being descendants of the tribes of Dan of Israel, also called Danakil in northern Ethiopia, the Rashada tribes, and later Dongolawa or Dongola in northern Sudan. The Danakil are the original people of Havilah, same as Dongolawa or Fuzzy-Wuzzy. They are the same tribe and people, your original family. The Danakil migrated south and lived amongst the people or the tribe of Cush. Thus you have amongst this tribe of Danakil people with round faces, round eyes, and round noses. They were both the tribe of Judah and the tribe of Dan, who migrated with them and became known as the Falasha. After their entry into Ethiopia, which both tribes became Danakil. The Falasha are the original Danites and the Judahites, who had been mixed with the Ethiopians who moved into that land. You are the original Falasha. The Falasha settled in the mountains of Begimdir and Simen, which border on the Sudan. They spoke both Aramaic Hebrew and Syriac Arabic, and was also referred to as the Rashada tribes. All of these tribes are referred to as the lost tribes. These lost tribes can be found in Lower Egypt, Sudan, Djibouti, Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya. The ones from Lower Ethiopia, Sudan, and Djibouti are from Havilah, Nubia. They are also known as the Afars. Their features are long faces, also oval, woolly hair, and they have reddish brown skin tone. The Afars are divided into major groups: the Adoyamaras and the Asahamaras, which are divided into several tribes and the sub-tribes. The people of Somalia, Ethiopia, and Kenya are Ethiopian Cushites. They are also known as the Issas. Their features are round faces, also oval, thin hair, greenish brown skin tone. The Issas are divided into three main groups: the Abagals, the Dalos, and the Wardiksa. They too are divided into several tribes. There is a land that exists today that is called the Forbidden Desert of the Danakil in Ethiopia, which is located at the southern end of the Red Sea. They are warriors that were never found without a weapon. The rule of this tribe was that they killed all strangers. Few survived that entered the territory of the Danakil. Their ancestors were from Nubia. When the Italians came to invade Ethiopia to try to explore new territory under the command of Benito Mussolini, they were unable to conquer the Danakil tribe. At one point in time, there existed over 1 million Danakils. Because of the mentality of the Danakils, many sought to destroy them. 99% of them were eventually and finally destroyed, and 1% of them still exist today. The kingdom later fell in the year 1366 to the Mohammedans under one Muhammad Ali, born 1769 AD and died 1849 AD. He was a Pasha of Anglo-Egypt, short, pale-skinned Egyptian. He was a common soldier who rose through the ranks. In 1811, he exterminated the Mamelukes, who ruled Egypt for 700 years. He won great victories for the Turks in Arabia and the Sudan. When in 1845, a man was born in Dongola called Muhammad Ahmed el-Mahdi from the Fuzzy Wuzzies. The name describes the original African hairstyles. They are our descendants of the tribe of Judah. This Mahdi was called to fight back the invasion of the Sudan by the Anglo-Egyptians and their British and Turkish confederates. Sudan was being oppressed and impoverished and stripped of her resources by the Anglo-Egyptians and the Turks, meaning those behind the rock, whom the Mahdi referred to as Halabi, meaning hairy, covered with hair. The Sudanese were getting abused by the British under the monarchy of Queen Victoria, 1819 through 1901 AD, and the Anglo-Egyptians. They were exploiting all of Sudan's resources and left the whole country in an uproar. The British and Egyptian governments launched 2 attacks on the Mahdi in 1881 under the command of Rauf Pasha. The British were surprised and annihilated by the Ansarullah and other tribesmen of Sudan that joined the Mahdi's rebellion. From the hills and plains, deserts and forests, tribes called to back the flag of al-Mahdi, Muhammad Ahmed. 10,000 of them: the Salam, the Baggara, the Raisiga, the Homer, the Hadendawa, the Bongo, the Mahdi, and the Bari. They came on horseback, armed with primitive homemade spears. Some, the poorest of the poor, wore only loincloths. but all were fanatically braced, had but one goal: freedom or die. In the year 1882, the Egyptians, recalling Rauf Pasha, sent another governor general with a stronger army. But in battle after battle, the paradise-intoxicated heroes of Al-Mahdi swept all before them. The Mahdi himself, tall, powerfully built, with the features of a deity, cast in black bronze, dressed in flowing white, on a splendid white Arabian horse, led them on. The victories continues at Sanaa'a. Of 6,000 Egyptians, only 20 escaped alive. At Jebel Gadir in June 1882, 2 whole armed corps were wiped out. At Sedrba on July 11th in 1882 AD, an army of 6,100, only 12 escaped. In October, he inflicted yet another defeat on an Egyptian force of 10,000. With considerable misgivings, the Egyptian authorities allowed the Egyptian government to organize one final military expedition to crush the Mahdi, which was commanded by General Hicks of the Indian Army. Hicks and his 10,000 followers were annihilated by the Ansarullah al-Obeid. The British again sent General Chinese Gordon Pasha, who acquired the nickname Chinese from fighting in China, with the task of trying to defeat the Mahdi, to no avail. The British were no match for this powerful army, who only used primitive weapons against their modern technology. Because of Al-Mahdi's indomitable zeal and penetrating intellect and his profound wisdom, the Sudanese listened and chose the young Al-Mahdi over many. He began to attract worldwide attention as the 19th leader, Imam, after the successor, Khalifa Ali, son of Abu Talib. In June 1885, the Ansars, under the leadership of Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi, defeated Gordon at Khartoum. There was nothing to halt the advance of the Ansars. Scores of Gordon's soldiers converted through their eyes and dropped their weapons. They immediately joined the ranks of the Ansars and declared their belief in Allah. After the fall of Khartoum, Muhammad Ahmed al-Mahdi became master of all North Africa. He established his state in Sudan and chose Durman as his capital. From here, he dispatched correspondents to the Middle East, beseeching consuls, emperors, and princes to embrace Islam and become its true servants. His success won the independence of the Sudan. The Mahdi died in the year 1885, having protected the original land of Nubia and the Nubians. Another tribe that played an important part in the plight against the British rule was the Bija tribe. They were commonly known as the Hadendawa of the Fuzzy Wuzzy tribe. The Hadendawa tribe were a nomadic tribe of Sudan. They were the backbone of the Mahdi's army. Thus, a strong, proud people called themselves the Hadendawa people, the first master people. The Hadendawa tribe were known as Fuzzy Wuzzy because of the extreme woolly texture of their hair. The Mahdi was a noble and great guide for his people, and we would not forget what he did for the Nubian tribes in Sudan. The Nubians are a combination of the original Nubuns and a man named Ibrahim el-Jali. who descended from Muhammad's uncle Al-Abbas. Ibrahim al-Ja'ali mixed his seed with the pale Russian Ottomans, producing Nubians. Thus, in the country of Sudan, you can find a variety of features and faces identified with the so-called African American. So now, we have the original Nubians who live in Juba or Nub in southern Sudan, known as the Dinka or the Dinga. A lot of them are tall, dark-skinned, like Watusis. Then, on the northern Sudan, in areas like Nubia, the mixed Nubian live with wavy, curly hair, aquiline features, dark brown to light skin, who vehemently look down on their original mothers and fathers, the Nubians. The word Nubian and Nubian is from the word Nub, meaning inclined to brown or black. Nub was also an ancient deity that came down to earth thousands of years ago. The Nubians were raided in the 1600s by a man named John Hawkins. They sold Nubians, or they were sold by their own Muslim brothers with the help of Euro Arabs and Moro Arabs such as Tipatib or Muhammad bin Sayyid, who was one of the most famous slave traders in Zanzibar, and the Sultan of Zanzibar named Barghash, son of Sa'id, Imam of Muscat, and a great warrior who fought to keep the British out of Zanzibar in the latter part of the 1800s. These two Orthodox Sunni Muslim men sold black Muslims and other African tribes who spoke several dialects, including Kinyarwanda, Kirundi, Zulu, Xhosa, and the language created by the Arabs called Kiswahili into slavery. Kiswahili is a combination of Arabic and the Bantu dialect. The word Bantu simply means human entity. The Zanzibarians, Africans who converted to Islam, were kidnappers. They originally were called by their Arab business partners Zinji, meaning to Arabs, nigger, when in actuality Zanzibar is a city in Tanzania, in East Africa, bordered by the African countries Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Kenya, Zaire, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Mozambique. So Swahili is a language created by Arabs for the slave trade. And the word mulatto, which is from the Arabic word maulad, was also to refer to any of the light-skinned, curly-haired to wavy-haired, part African, and any other race as a mulatto. The inhabitants of Tanzania moved south into Uganda, the home of the ancient Moroto Pithecus, everyone's ancestor here on the planet Earth. Zanzibar Island was a trading post from the Indian Ocean. These mixed people, the Nubians, are known as Khatmiya tribe and Sanusi, both of the Ja'aliya tribe. The Ja'aliya have round features. They live in the Atbara confluence between the Salabuqa Gorge in the Sudan. The Sudanese, who are now Arabicized, don't consider themselves Africans, but rather Arabs, who are a combination of Moors, Turks, Hindus, etc. The mixture of Ja'aliya and Danqalawi is Shaghiya, who have long features. This is what the remaining children of Yeshua and Mary Magdalene became known as. you, Nubians, who now reside in the West. We hope you have learned something from this video, and we urge you to share this video and to subscribe to the only channel where you will learn true ancient Egyptian mysteries. No more lies and no more guesswork. So share, subscribe, click on the like button below, and see you at the next video.